Hey everybody, what's up? Don Carr here, and today I'm with Fred Green from Martin.
Always good to see you.
Man, good to see you too, Fred. Awesome. You guys got new stuff, always got cool stuff, and today we have the GPCE Inception.
It's always a pleasure to bring something new. You know, this is a highlight of my trip, actually. Coming in here, doing
really?
videos with you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
man,
it's
you're
always
too
fun.
nice,
We always
dude.
have a good time
We
together.
do,
always have a good time.
definitely. And you know, when we've got an exciting new product to talk about, how about that segue? That was pretty.
That was well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
you know, marginal, but I'll take it.
Professional at work.
Something like that. Anyway, no, this thing is really cool. There are so many things to talk about. I mean, to look at it, you go, oh, cool, a Martin guitar with a cutaway, but
Correct.
It's all what's going on under the hood.
There's a lot going on underneath the hood here. We really wanted to do something different, but we wanted to put it together in a package that people would recognize and see as a normal Martin guitar, for the most part. But there's a lot of things in here that aren't normal for a Martin guitar. So these are the, this may upset the faithful in some cases when it comes to our products, but we really wanted to do something different. And the key point here for everyone out there to understand is we wanted to do a domestic hardwood guitar. As everybody knows, rosewood, mahogany, all these sort of exotic hardwoods, they're getting more difficult to find, they're getting more expensive, the quality of the wood is varying to a greater degree, and it's really difficult, and it's hard to imagine a path going forward where those materials are going to be available at the same way they have been in the past.
Right, in that sort of abundance.
Correct. So we want to start working on some products that allow us to put some guitars out in the marketplace that use domestic hardwood stuff that's grown in North America, stuff that's more readily available that we can get. And look, this is not uncharted waters. Martin was making maple guitars and guitars from locally sourced materials back in the 1800s.
Right, because that's what was there.
That's exactly right. They weren't importing stuff from South and Central America in 1833. They were just using the local woods that they had around the factory. And you know, other brands, Gibson, Taylor, other brands have certainly done all kinds of different domestic hardwoods in the past. But we really wanted to approach it in a novel fashion, something a little bit different. You've played lots of maple guitars before, right?
Sure.
All right. Now, maple guitars tend to be a little bright, right? They kind of decay quickly when you play them. They kind of have their own flavor, and people in the past have sort of overcome that tonal flavor by just making them big.
Sure.
Right? Putting more air in there, trying to find a way to make them work a little bit better. And we've made those same kinds of guitars. We've done that in the past also. I just don't think it was the right approach.
Yeah.
So when we were tasked with sort of doing a maple guitar out of Martin, what I didn't want to have happen, which has happened in the past, is we make a maple guitar, we put it in on a D or a triple O, people play it, they go, oh, that's cool. And then they turn around and go, you got it in rosewood? That's always what happens. They ask me, you got it in rosewood? You got it in mahogany?
Yeah.
So in the end, it never sticks and it never seems to work. So the way we started looking at it is we need a different recipe to work with these new tone woods. You don't really think about it too much, but most traditional acoustic guitars, the way they're built and the way they're constructed was really built and constructed around mahogany and around rosewood.
Sure.
Right? So all the decisions that were made there were try to get the best out of those particular woods. And it just doesn't really work that well with maple, or at least it doesn't work the way we want it to work with maple. So we need to change that recipe somehow. We need to go inside and change the recipe. And I use the analogy, and we talked about this earlier, it's sort of like apple pie.
Yeah.
Right? There's a recipe for apple pie. And then somebody comes to you and they says, hey, guess what? We found this new fruit. It's called a tomato. And you go, oh, great. Well, it's just another fruit. We'll just stick it in the apple pie. It should work the same. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. And that's sort of what happens with maple in many cases. So we went underneath the hood here and we made some changes to the instrument. We wanted to make them in a way that they were visual, that you could see what was happening in there. And we made some changes on the back. Now, what's unique about this particular guitar is we're using a walnut fingerboard. We're using a walnut bridge, walnut neck. Once again, trying to stay within that theme of working with domestic hardwoods. It's walnut binding.
Man.
So we went all that way, and we kind of want people to look at walnut sort of as the American mahogany.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to look at it. And on the back of the guitar, we use a walnut wedge on the back of the guitar. And it's a unique wedge. It's very different. It's actually got sort of a bulge to it in the back, and it's wider right behind the bridge because we wanted to kind of get some of that walnut flavor, sort of tame down some of the highs that we were getting out of the maple. And then the top The top was a big change for us. We needed the top to respond a little more. We needed it to move. We didn't want that quick decay that we were getting out of that maple. So we had to find a way to lighten the top up, but we didn't want to lose the structural integrity of the guitar.
Yeah, that's always that balance, though, isn't it? Like, it's got to be loose enough to resonate, but tight enough to hold together.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of string pull pressure right there. You don't want to get that bulge behind the bridge because you made it too light. You tried to make it too responsive. But we want to keep it tight enough where we can keep, the playability of the guitar, so things aren't moving around too much. So, do you mind if I just show you a top, kind of get a little look? So, this is what we've done. This is really different for us. As you can see, we've gone inside and we've lightened up these X bracing by using our laser and the technologies that we have. And we've put these hexagon holes in there to allow that brace to be a little bit lighter, probably 30% lighter than normal. All right, but we haven't lost any of the structural integrity that's on the inside.
And still getting the resonance too, out of, all of it. Wow, that's great, man.
It's really, really different for us. There's a little X pattern in there too that's kind of fun to look at.
Yeah.
And then we've done something else that's kind of unique and different. We've done what we call a sonic channeling. So we've gone around each brace and around the top of the guitar, and we put a little channel in there, once again, allowing that top to resonate a little bit more, right, without losing any of the structure that's happening inside there. And it makes perfect sense if you think about it. If something is light, it requires less energy to move it.
Right.
And it will continue to resonate for a longer period of time as you don't have the weight in there taking it down. So that allows this whole top to sort of breathe and move, and we get a different flavor from the maple than we normally have gotten in the past.
Man, this guitar sounds great.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the thing, is that not knowing that it was maple, just picking it up and playing it was like, oh, nice sounding guitar.
Yeah.
Not even thinking twice about it being maple.
I mean, the best thing you could say about it really is, listen, it doesn't sound like rosewood, it doesn't sound like mahogany, but it does sound like a Martin guitar.
Yeah. There you go, man.
There you go.
Can't beat that. Cannot
Absolutely.
beat that. And that is, thank you, lasers, man.
Thank you, lasers and technology. This is something you couldn't have done in the past. In the old days, if you wanted to do something like this, you would just sit there with a drill press all day long, driving yourself crazy.
Very tedious doing that. Man.
Yeah, but it's really cool. So you can see it when you look through it. You can see it on the back braces also, along with the top braces. I think it's a really fun guitar. I think it's fun to play.
It is. It is. It sounds good, feels good. It's very comfortable. The cutaway's nice. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. Man, let's hear it.
Let's do it. Please, I want to hear it.
All right.
Cool.
Fred, killer guitar, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Wow, thank you. Thanks so much for being here and
pleasure.
bringing this amazing instrument, right? Sustainable for the future, man.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, killing.
Hopefully everybody sees it that way when they get a chance to play it.
Yeah, I think they'll just play it and not really think about it, frankly.
That would be best case scenario.
Yeah, that's definitely the case right there.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions about this guitar or any other Martin guitars, make sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or check us out at sweetwater.com. Thanks.